Welcome back to RobMotive. Out here cruising around as usual in the Toyota Tacoma, and I got to thinking, you know, this 2023 TRD off-road V6 automatic is the best Toyota Tacoma I think I've had. And I've had many. This is like my 8th Tacoma, I think. And granted, most of them have been third gens. I did have, I think, one, maybe two second gens, and they were okay. I mean, power-wise, they didn't have any lag, I'll tell you that. And that's the one downside with the 2023, if there's anything. But easily remedied with the pedal commander. And I've talked about that many times on the channel. It eliminates throttle lag. I'm not going to go deep into it in this video, but that makes this Tacoma, in my opinion, the best one that I've had, the 2023. Now, as I mentioned, I've had others. I've also had an access cab. Now, that was a pretty good looking truck, I think. It had, of course, the extra doors in the back, but it had that suicide seating, or the seating that sits on the sides, if you will. It was horrible. Other than that, the truck was really pretty basic. I think it was an SR5. It might have been an SR, I don't remember. Good looking truck, and almost as soon as I bought that truck, I had people asking me to let them know when I was going to sell it, because you see, they also knew that I have a problem and I don't keep them long. But to let them know when I was going to let it go, because they really liked the way that truck looked. And I didn't do much to it either. That was really pre-channel, pre-modding for me. I think I might have changed the grille, maybe, and I might have put some side steps on it for some crazy reason. I've grown to not like side steps too much now, because they really just get in the way for me. I'm at the right height that I can step into the truck, and I don't really need them. But anyway, this one is the best, and the reasons for me, and I know this is a personal thing, you know, every time I make a claim that something is the best, I always get the detractors out there. Well, buddy, that's your opinion. Well, of course it's my opinion. Who else's opinion would I give? But anyway, some of the reasons why I like this one the most, and some of them are things that I just didn't have on the other trucks, that I really missed after having them on other vehicles. One, of course, is the push-button start. I love that. I love to be able to have the keys in my pocket or stuck through my belt loop, which is the way I wear them most of the time. And I don't have to screw with them. I just jump in the truck, push the button, and go. And I really don't understand, again, I know it's personal preference, personal opinion, but I don't understand why some people just can't stand the push button. They want to have that pointy, sharp key thing, you know, sticking them in the thigh when they're driving, or having to take that extra step and shove it in the slot. I mean, I don't know what it is. I guess it's just old school. Some people are really stuck in old school, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, you know, again, it's a personal preference thing, whatever. The next thing is the auto up windows. You know, I still have the auto down, but auto or non-auto up windows in the Jeep Gladiator, and that drives me nuts. And often I forget. I'll reach down there when I remember in the Jeep that the controls are in the center, and I touch the button once, and the window goes and stops, because it doesn't have auto up windows. Every other vehicle that I have, well, the one other vehicle that I have, that's the Honda Civic, does have auto up windows. An older Honda Civic, I mean, come on, Toyota. Anyway, they've remedied it, I think a couple years ago, or maybe even more than that. It was based on the model that you would get. I never had a model that had auto up windows until I got this truck. I love that. I think it's awesome. The next thing, and this really happened in the previous, well, the one before the previous Tacoma that I had, and that is the 10-way power adjustable seats with lumbar. You know, I did a mod on the channel, which was a pretty popular mod, so I know I'm not alone in this, but I added spacers to the seats to get rid of that kind of pointing up feeling that the seat had. It was always lower in the back. It always felt like I was driving like this, you know, getting ready to blast off. If only you could blast off in a Tacoma. But anyway, I did a mod where I added a couple different versions of spacers, and now I know there are companies out there that have spacers. You can actually buy blocks, aluminum blocks, to screw in the legs in the back, I guess, to bring the seat up a bit. You don't really need to spend the money to do that. You buy a few washers, put them on each side with a different bolt, a longer bolt, and you can do that yourself. But anyway, this has made a heck of a difference for me. I can finally get comfortable in the Tacoma without having to do any kind of a mod or adaptation. And you know, one of the other things that I don't understand, I hear complaints about there from folks who say they still can't get comfortable in the Toyota Tacoma with the 10-way power adjustable seats. I don't understand that. Again, maybe it's just me, I don't know, but when you have a 10-way adjustable seat, how can you not get comfortable? And the one thing I'll mention about the Tacoma, you know, I hear some people talk about it's not big enough for them. They don't have room in the Tacoma. They tend to be over about 6'3", maybe 6'4" tall, or just a larger person. And I always think, well, first of all, did you not sit at least in a Toyota Tacoma before you ponied up the money, right? I mean, didn't you notice that when you took your test drive or sat in one or maybe sat in a friend's? You know, they haven't changed much in the last 10 years or whatever it is, the third gens. So I would think you'd be aware of that. So to buy a truck that you're obviously too big for and then complain that you don't fit in it, that seems kind of invalid to me. And that seems like it's on them, right? I don't know. The last thing that I'll mention is the radio, the infotainment system. You know, about 2 model years ago, I believe, Toyota upgraded it a bit, changed it, made it a little bit bigger, made it a little bit brighter, gave it a little bit more options, you know, in the form of Bluetooth with Apple and Samsung and all Android, all that stuff. Love the way that it works. It's nice and simple. Everything is intuitive. I never have to sit here and stare at the radio screen to do what I want to do. And I've had plenty of other vehicles that were like that. I remember I had a couple of Audis. That system was so complicated. And I think sometimes the luxury vehicles, if you will, put complicated things in their vehicles just to make them seem to be more complicated, more advanced. I don't know what it is. A radio should be easy to use. You shouldn't have to take your focus off the road to figure out how to go from one station or one band to another, or even just to simply make a phone call. So anyway, the 2023, for me, I'll say is the best Tacoma that I've had, particularly dressed in the TRD off-road version. It's comfortable, it's smooth, everything is how I want it now, and it's going to be very difficult for me to trade this thing off once the 2024 in the version that I want, you know, the redesign that's coming, is available. Leave a comment, let me know. Are you going to the 2024, or do you really love the Toyota Tacoma that you have now, and there's just no way you can trade it? I'd be curious to know. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.